Good evening, Travis. Since you're too good to Skype with me, I thought I would sit back, relax, have a good old cup of Bunkhouse Joe, and read you a little story that I think will make you feel better, complete with a soundtrack from Glenn Miller and his orchestra. That sounds good. Anyway, Travis, here we go. Just going to turn this down a little bit. It's almost too good to turn down, Travis. Like a Skype date with me. But anyway, Travis, the name of this story is called I Wish Daddy Didn't Drink So Much. Story and pictures by Judith Vigna. And I read. For Christmas, Daddy bought me a sled. He actually made the sled. That's the first mistake. For Christmas, Daddy made me a sled. He brought it to my room on Christmas Eve. I knew it was only Daddy in a Santa Claus suit because he bumped into my bed twice and spilled beer on the rug. I didn't like that. You see, when Daddy drinks a lot of beer, he acts funny. But I love that he built me a sled. It was shiny blue with little stenciled flowers. There was a note on it that said, quote, Dear Lisa, your dad promised me he'd take you sledding right after breakfast. Love, Santa. Of course, I knew it wasn't really Santa's writing, but I didn't care. Daddy and I haven't had any fun in a long time. After breakfast, Daddy didn't want to go sledding. Later, he growled. He didn't even look at the Christmas card I drew. I made it in school, especially for him. I helped Mommy fix the turkey. We bought an extra big one because her new friend Mrs. Fields was coming over for Christmas dinner. And a cup of Bunkhouse Joe. Mrs. Fields and Mommy met at a meeting for people with a lot of drinking in the family. Mama says it's okay to talk with Mrs. Fields about Daddy's drinking. Before, I wasn't allowed to tell anyone. While the turkey was cooking, I asked Daddy, Can we go sledding now? Later, he said. I got mad. But you promised. Don't bug me, he shouted. Get lost! I hate when Daddy yells at me. I'm scared he'll hit me. I stayed quiet and played with my new toys. I pretended my sled could fly, just like Santa's, over the clouds to a warm place. When it was time to set the table, I put out an extra plate, but Mommy took it away. Isn't Mrs. Fields eating with us? I asked. No, Mama told me. I had to telephone her not to come. Daddy is feeling sick. I was really disappointed. I practically made the stuffing all by myself. Daddy didn't look sick. He looked mad. Where'd you hide the beer? He hollered at Mommy. You drank it all, she said. I guess he didn't believe her because he started hunting for more. He looked everywhere. Even the grandfather clock. He was so mad I hid behind the couch and didn't move. Finally, he went out. It wasn't fair. He promised to take me sledding. I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I saw him coming back home. He had a great big smile on his face. He remembered. I ran outside with my sled. He tried to sit down on it, but he fell. Plop! Right in the snow. Well, that made him mad all over again, and he threw the sled in the hedges like it was my fault. Mom took him inside, and I heard yelling and screaming and glass falling. I wish, just once, we could have a real Christmas like other people. After a while, Mommy remembered about me. She was crying. What shall we do with that huge turkey? She said. Mrs. Fields is not coming and Daddy is too sick to eat. He's not sick, I told her. "He's drunk." Mommy held me. She said, "Daddy is sick, Lisa. He can't help his drinking. It makes him do hurtful, mean things he doesn't really want to do. The true, kind daddy is the one that loves you so much and built you this beautiful sled. I wish the mean daddy wouldn't always spoil Christmas," I said. Travis, what I've just read to you is an excerpt from Judith Vigna's "I Wish Daddy Didn't Drink So Much." You know, Travis, had you just gotten on Skype and talked to me for a mere 5 minutes tonight, I wouldn't have made you suffer through this. But I wouldn't really call it suffering. I think we've all learned and gathered something from this experience. I just wanted to let you know that, despite your poor treatment of me, I suppose it could always be worse. Have a great night, Travis. Cheers.